What it do, everybody? It's your boy King Crowder, back again with another edition of History You May Not Know, and Untold stories and legacies that should be detailed. Today's lesson is on the great Gerald A Lawson, aka Jerry Lawson, who was born December 1st, 1940. He was a pioneer, an American electrical engineer. He was, one of the founding members and the iconic people that changed the video game industry totality. Jerry Lawson was born in Brooklyn, New York to his father. And his father was a long story showman who was interested in science, and his mother worked in the city as a parent-teacher association, local office. He was raised in a phenomenal home from the South during the Great Migration when his parents moved north to escape racism and prejudice that was located then. Lawson was born in Brooklyn. He also had aspirations because he loved education. He loved chemistry. He loves the radio. He loved science. He was inspired by George Washington Carver on what his innovation and how he changed his life. While in New York, Mr. Jerry attended both Queens College and the City College of New York City, where he did not graduate. But he decided to go in 1970s to move to San Francisco and join an engineering consultant in their sales division. While he was working for the company that would later become Fairchild was one of the founders of Atari and other video games, he developed what's known as the cartridge. He developed the video game model, he developed how it worked and how it sold. Let's get this thing into perspective. Jerry Lawson single-handedly created the video game industry that's worth billions to this day. Jerry Lawson was one of the founders that taught people how to sell the game, how to make it easy and applicable to children as well as adults. If you look at the old series model, Jerry Lawson's hands in the 70s and 80s are all across that console. He created the concept of blowing into it to reset the game. If you were a 90s baby, you remember the games of NBA Live, different games of the sort where you had to blow on them, 007 to restart the games, Mario Kart. All of those things, we never knew that Jerry Lawson was the brains and the main head of operation behind that. He developed a strategy to not only sell the games, fix the games, but manage the games to the masses. Video games were around, but we didn't know how to market them properly. We couldn't make them affordable, and we did not know how to get them in the hands of children. Jerry Lawson knew how to make the connect by making different steps. He implemented the memory card, the pause button, the way that allowed TV channels to have a setting where a game setting had to be on a specific thing. He also introduced computer chip technologies. You must understand, he developed the software to improve things to make it run smoothly. He also removed any electronic shocks or things that couldn't handle or hinder games from being sold. He made the game safe. He innovated many things that made the video console that was unsuccessful at one point, making them successful. Because when they tried to sell video games, they sold it without the cartridge and people kept scratching them, bending them, and breaking them. Jerry made a model that made it really kid and user friendly. The video game console was not as innovative at the time due to it not having that thinking process. Jerry decided to go on his own as a solo black member, selling the computer chips as a hobbyist. He even got founders such as Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak to talk to this gentleman and ask him how did he make things so simply and easily. Jerry Lawson knew that for video development games to begin to excel and overachieve, he had to make it simple. He understood that process of taking away the thinking out of people's minds and allow the fun to flow easily. Jerry Lawson is a guy that we do not talk about based off how well his mind was and how he single-handedly put sales and innovation in the same room. He wanted to make less steps happen. A lot of the times when you deal with supremely intelligent people, they do not know how to simplify things. Jerry Lawson was a master at that craft. He also produced something was known as the Wonder Clock. The Wonder Clock was a small produced child voice system, which was a long clock with your parents' voice on it. Jerry Lawson contributed that aspect as well. Jerry Lawson is an untold gem who really radically changed the whole game industry, electronic industry, and made it simple. We know the games today as the PS5 and system. They all mimic what Jerry Lawson did instead of his sales process and how he developed. Mr. Lawson is not told about not discussed, and not given his flowers. I am here today just to highlight that on how important this gentleman was, how innovative he was, and how his mind changed the industry forever. He, like George Washington Carver, may have been known for the small amount of things he did, but the outermost great things of how the video game industry must be contributed to him. If he did not simplify the process, make it easy to market to children, the video game industry would not be thriving as it is today. Mr. Lawson should be credited completely with changing the way, as an electrical engineer, how the process works. One formal thing that I want people to understand how Mr. Lawson, he never received a degree. He was an enthusiast, he loved it, and he learned how to work with these products. Do not doubt yourself. Mr. Lawson deserves all the credit in the world for changing the video game industry, changing the electrical engineering industry, and he deserves his flowers. In 1982, he was given in BET magazine as Innovator of the Year and Engineer of the Year. He needs more than that. Shout out to Mr. Lawson and all you did, sir, even though you passed in April 9, 2011, almost 12 years now. We want to give you credit and basically highlight you, sir, for the beautiful things you did that changed our society and our lifetime moving forward. The great Gerald A Lawson, the great things he did, we appreciate you. All right, y'all. Again, hopefully you learned something today. Thank you for watching the King Crowder channel. I'm here to teach you things you didn't know and to fill in those gaps of things we were never taught. Please comment, like, or subscribe to the channel. Please tell me what you think and leave your comments and questions in the comment bubble. Hopefully you learned something. Peace.